You're listening to Radio Mayapur with the best devotional, meditation, kirtan music, and inspirational podcast. This is Radio Mayapur.
Today is a very beautiful sunny day here in Mayapur. And today is a very auspicious day because it's the birthday of Advaita Acharya Prabhu, who is the one that we, from his heart, pray to the Lord to appear, to save the conditioned soul of Kali Yuga. And the Lord, responding to his prayer, appear as Lord Chaitanya with all his associates. He's also incarnation of Mahavishnu, and he's a great personality. So today we are remembering that how is the power of the prayers of the Vaishnava, of the devotees, that sometimes they pray for the whole world, sometimes they pray for the family, and they are praying for all the people yet to come to receive. There is water there if you like to drink. But today we are very, very fortunate to have with us one senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada, which I have known from the very beginning of my Krishna consciousness. He was preaching to me in Calcutta when I was a new bhakta. And his name is Sarvabhavana Prabhu. And he's born in Calcutta on 19th of May, 1947. He studied in Calcutta first, then he went to continue his study in university in Germany. And then he came back to Calcutta. He did his master's degree in philosophy, so and also comparative study of religion. So he saw first the devotee in 1969 in Hamburg, Germany. He speaks fluent Bengali, of course, because that's his mother tongue, but also Germany and English. He translated many of Srila Prabhupada books from Bengali to English, English to Bengali. No, only from
Bengali to
English. So welcome, Sarvabhavana Prabhu, to Radio Mayapur. We are inspired to see you today. And just tell us a little bit about your life before you met the devotee, because you went into study and you went into doing a dream, which many people had, or the father of the children had, in thinking that my son will become a very great scholar or very well positioned in society. But many of us who run away and become hippie, run away from home and are looking for something higher. But tell us a little bit about your family and Calcutta, your time when you were a child. What was your aspiration, etc.?
Well, I come from a very normal, mediocre family. My father was a lawyer, and my mother initially was a housewife, but on the insistence of my father, she also went for higher studies, completed her PhD, and was then called by UNESCO to teach children from underprivileged homes, especially broken homes, in industrial areas in England.
Wow.
In a place called Durham. So that's just a little brief. My mother was also a Sanskrit scholar, which naturally helped her later on to serve Srila Prabhupada by editing the Bengali translation of Bhagavad Gita as it is. And the translation was done by Bhakti Charu Maharaj.
Yes.
And my mother edited it.
Nice.
And Srila Prabhupada was very appreciative, and he gave a permanent life membership.
Wonderful.
She didn't want any remuneration, nothing. She was just happy that her son had become a decent citizen. And so that's just a little background. I was a very playful child. I was very interested in sports, and I had no other hobbies or interests. And I was actually quite good in sports and in several disciplines. I played hockey, actually, in first division in Kolkata. I played cricket, I played football, and also table tennis and all things like that. My whole life was very much, but I was always interested in literature and philosophy. And so in college, I studied with English literature and world history, then came to Germany and did my university studies on visual communication. Thereafter, I went back because I didn't know what to do. And so I continued my studies in philosophy and completed my master's there. But I suppose when in retrospect, when I think about all these different turns and changes in my life, somehow I connected it with my being able to serve Srila Prabhupada's desires. For example, he wanted someone a preacher to preach in the university. Now, to preach in the university and actually have a chair, that means, an accredited course, you had to have at least a master's. So I had that without knowing that this study of in the Calcutta University would later on then actually help in my preaching. And so I was quite disinterested in studies. So when I completed my graduation in Kolkata, along with my good friend Bhaktivedanta Swami, we decided to see the world rather than continue our studies or get into a job. The two of us, we got together, and I was very much helped by my mother because she was there in England. So in those days, it was not possible to have easy access to foreign exchange. But since my mother was there, so she was sending me. She was willing to send me. I mean, in India, I didn't want to receive it. So anyhow, together we decided, let's go. Since 1968, we took a cargo ship from Bombay over the Gulf of Persian Gulf, and landed in Basra, Iraq. It's a port in Iraq. In those days, there was no conflict, no war, nothing. It was quite a peaceful kind of, places. These were all very peaceful. And we were very, very much welcomed because, Hindi films were very popular. Yes. And so the Indians were quite welcome in Iraq and Syria and all these places that we visited. And so from Basra, we were doing auto stop, hitchhiking. Yeah, this is the part of the way we hitchhiked. Part of the way we took also buses, because this was very uncommon in these countries. On hitchhiking. So, and like in Baghdad, we stopped and stayed for many days. Actually, we got invited by different people. I mean, I don't want to go into details. There were quite a lot of adventurous things happening there.
I just want to stop you for a second. Means you and Bhaktivedanta Maharaj knew each other before you became a devotee. You were friends. Means living in Calcutta, you were living nearby each other? Or?
Yes, it's not so far away. It's not far away.
So I understood properly.
Yeah, so I mean, but we would meet every single day.
Wow.
He did his school in Darjeeling, which is a residential school there, and I did mine in Kolkata. And through common friends, we came to know each other.
Nice.
And we immediately were very
Bond.
much attracted to, yes, and similar interests and similar things like that.
Right.
So we knew each other, and that's why we planned to do this world tour.
Experience. You were very young at the time. You were.
I was, that was 1968, was 21.
Yes, that's the time you want to go all out and experience and see the world.
Study anymore,
Yeah.
have a job or anything like that, you know. Who wanted such a boring kind
Life.
of future? Just the thought of it was just, and so we just left. We left. Took a cargo ship. It's cheap, and yeah, it was very exciting. I mean, we had some really interesting experiences. Met a lot of people. Came into situations which were quite, in the beginning, quite even dangerous, I would say.
Of course, of course.
So finally, we started in March, and by the time we were in Europe, we went through Greece, Turkey, Greece, Yugoslavia. In those days, it was still Yugoslavia.
Yeah, it was one country.
Yeah, and the Yugoslavians were very nice, actually. I mean, anyhow, the Greeks are also. I mean, people were so friendly in those days, and they had no problem for food or shelter. We were always invited. Like just an example, in Yugoslavia, I was standing in a petrol station. It was raining. It was terrible. It was cold. It was getting cold also in September. I was wondering what to do. It was evening. 4 or 5 hours I spent there. And I said, oh, this is going to be a tough night. And then suddenly a young guy comes along and he said, hey, why don't you come to my house? And he just invited me. I mean, don't even know him from Adam. Things like that happen. It was a really wonderful experience. Finally, we reached Germany, which was just at the time, October. And it was cold. It was really cold.
Very cold.
Yeah. So any further traveling north was out of the question. So I suppose that was somehow some connection must have been there with Germany. I don't know.
Yeah, must.
That's all I can actually, how I can actually, try and adjust this whole issue of how I came to Germany and I actually settled down there. And I picked up the language very fast.
Some previous connection?
I don't know.
Previous life? Otherwise, how you end up there?
There must be some connection.
Must be, yes.
Oh, yeah. And
because German language is also very difficult to learn. I'm Italian, I can learn French, Spanish very easily, but German,
because it's Latin-based languages.
Yeah,
you learn very fast. But actually, German is Indo-German.
Indo-German, yeah.
It's just a different, what do you call that, root. Yeah, so, and then also in Germany, I was welcome, met some students, they invited me into their homes like that. And in those days, we didn't require any visa. For 3 months, they just allow you, and then you have to renew it. So then I thought, okay, since here is October, it was cold, it was just too cold, and I had lost quite a lot of weight on the way, because,
not eating properly.
Exactly.
Weather.
Exactly. Yeah. So I decided, Bhakti Charu also, as he had a cousin brother living in Hamburg. So we entered from Munich, from Austria, we came into Munich. And from there, we went straight to Hamburg because he had a place there, shelter. And I also got myself, I didn't want to burden his family. So, and my mother was sending me sufficient funds, so I was able to rent a place there. And I enrolled myself in the university. So I wouldn't have any problem with staying. I got a student's visa and all that. So that's how I stayed in Germany.
Yeah.
And in 1969, I met my future wife in Hamburg. She was studying there, and so was I. And she was studying pedagogy, to be a teacher. So the system in Germany is that you have to do, after a 5-year course, you have to do 2 years of practicum.
Apprentice.
Sorry?
Apprentice.
Apprentice. So she decided to do it in Berlin, West Berlin. At that time, Berlin was divided.
Yeah.
So she went to Berlin, and I also followed her there. And I got myself also enrolled in the university, in the arts college. Did my visual communication. I was studying there, and that's where, first of all, I met the devotees. We were together, Bhakti Charu and myself, in Hamburg in 1968. And the devotees, one day we just came out of the university and we were just walking, and suddenly heard this kirtan.
Sound.
Yes. I said, what is this? And then we saw, and it was quite, what's the word? I was amazed, astonished, and also it was so funny because they were wearing dhotis, but not properly.
Of course. They didn't know.
And they had these huge shoes on. It was so incongruous, the shoes not matching with the dhoti, but that doesn't matter. It was the way they were singing with such an abandon. And right in the middle, I thought, wow, these, whoever they are, they must be quite, what is the word? Intrepid.
To do kirtan.
To kirtan out in the street. And this was 1969. It was completely unknown.
Yes.
So we went and joined.
You knew kirtan because you're coming from the land of kirtan, Calcutta.
Yeah.
That was something that you knew, but to see there with the foreign people, white people wearing that type of uniform or clothes and setting.
And immediately there was a what is called a home connection. So we went up to them, and they were distributed a pamphlet. It was an invitation.
Sunday feast.
To come on a Sunday. I think that was a weekday. Yeah, since it was a university day, to come to a love feast. I said, fantastic. We'll come there. So the two of us went. But unfortunately, a very unsavory incident took place.
Really?
There was, I don't want to mention names, there was a devotee who was giving the lecture. So we were sitting there, there was kirtan first of all, and then there was this devotee who was giving a lecture in English. And suddenly he started criticizing Buddha. I was completely, struck.
What is he saying? Why is he saying
No, it's okay. No,
you were thinking, why is this?
Yeah, why is he doing that? We started looking at each other, Bhakti Charan, and I said, what's going on? And, we were very interested together, as I say, in philosophy, and we had read a little bit of the Gita, a little bit of other literatures relating to, the Vedas and things like that.
Because Buddha is considered one of the Dasavatara.
Exactly,
so
that was the point.
It's not that he was a demon or something. Yeah.
No, that was the point. But he was talking about the other Buddha, the Nirishwar Buddha.
Oh, I see.
Nirishwar, because there are 3 Buddhas.
Yeah, yes.
So he in his own rights was... but then the way he was criticizing, it was not at all
Pleasant.
Yeah, it wasn't palatable. It was something which was not very. That turned us off. I said, these people are fanatics. And so, and we never came back. Never came back. Then a couple of years later, I was earning my living as a student. I did get a scholarship for first year, but thereafter no more. So I had to find ways and means to finance. And I didn't want any more from my mother. I said, no, I have to find something, ways and all that. So I was employed by a club to train. I was a trainer for hockey. Because I had already, played in first division hockey, and so I had these credentials. So that, and plus I was teaching yoga.
Yoga.
Yeah, asanas. And something of the philosophy also from Patanjali. So in that course, I came to know some who were interested in more philosophy, and they said that, hey, listen, there's a center, and why don't you come? In Berlin, center. I mean, he didn't tell me who they were. So I said, okay, I'll come. But in the meanwhile, one day I was entering a very famous shopping center in Berlin. It's a landmark. It's called KaDeWe. And right at the entrance was this young girl, 18, 19, wearing a sari with tilak, and very serene kind of person with the face. And she was there. She saw me and she just came quickly and handed me a book. And I said, listen, wait, what is this? She said, no, you take this and this. I said, listen, I'm a student. I don't have any money. He said, no. You read it, you take it, and if you like, you give me a donation after. So I just opened it, and it was Prabhupada's Chaitanya in 5 features. Srila Prabhupada had just began with his translation of Chaitanya Charitamrita, and somehow or the other, as an introduction, he took out this book. It's a small book with 5 chapters of Adi Leela, describing Panchatattva. So when I saw the Bengali script, I said, oh, how wonderful.
My language.
So I immediately took it and I said, well, look, I don't have the money now. She said, no problem. Very nice. Indira was her name. Nice girl. And so I was so excited and I started reading. And there, for the first time, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada was writing that one should chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. I tell you, from the very next day I began chanting.
Wow.
It was like
powerful message.
Well, the thing is that, I mean, I don't know if I should say, but my personal realization is that it's not the first time that I've met Srila Prabhupada in this lifetime. Otherwise, the course my life took, and in the manner in which Srila Prabhupada reached out to me, for me it was obvious. Maybe I'm just speculating, maybe it's not. But, well, that's my personal
perception.
Perception, yeah. So immediately, otherwise, I mean, it was like Prabhupada was personally telling me, begin to chant now. You have not done it for a long time.
Nice.
And it began. So that was like in 69. But
And you were still in touch with Bhatticharu Maharaj.
oh yeah,
So you told him about this book?
yeah. But then he had already by the time I got this book, he had gone back to India.
Oh.
See, he was there for 3 years. He was. Wait a minute. With the chronology, I'm not all very correct.
Oh.
No, it was 70, and 71, I would say. No, 1608 we came. 71, that's right. 3 years after I've been in Germany that I received this book, 71, in Berlin. And by that time, he had already come back to India because he was in search of a guru. Bhakticharu was searching for a guru. So he said, I'm not going to find one here. And he was a little bit frustrated because, the whole culture here was not very attractive. He couldn't adjust himself to the mentality. Plus his own brother was also a kind of different sort of person. It didn't quite work out with him.
Yes.
So he was a little disappointed and frustrated, so he went back. So then I started seriously in 1971 is when I seriously started chanting regularly. And by the time I also, my wife to be, she finished her apprenticeship. And so we went back to Hamburg. And I also then accompanied her, and I got a job, I think. I started working, as well as studying in the university. And different kinds of odd jobs. In those days, a student could have what is called temporary jobs.
Yes.
They have a whole
list.
Yeah, exactly. So that was no problem for me to get jobs, if you have a student's card and things like that. But I was also getting a little frustrated. I didn't see any reason. So then, finally, it came to a point where I was reading Srila Prabhupada's book. Then I got the next book that I got was Ishopanishad. After reading that, I said, no, this is my life. It was like a revelation. And I said, the course of my life will be now, somehow or the other, to continue in my spiritual life. I had absolutely no interest in things. And naturally, my mother was very disappointed. She sent us all the way.
I spent so much money, make my son study. Now he become a sadhu. Yeah, I can understand.
So then I joined, near Frankfurt. The devotees had rented what do you call like a fort? Can you call it a fort?
Yes, a chalet.
Chalet, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's like a country house,
No, much more than that. It was
bigger.
3 stories high, 64 rooms.
Wow.
And beautiful balustrade and up the steps. And it was a fantastic place. And we were already about 100 devotees living there.
Wow.
And that was like the central
headquarters.
Yeah. Hansadutta was the...
he was
GVC.
there. GVC.
Yeah. So
you joined the temple in that time?
Then, my wife became pregnant.
Ah, yes.
And I said, wow, how can I bring up a child
in this
condition of... I said, no, let me just go and join the temple.
Right.
So with my pregnant wife, actually, in 1974, I moved into this chateau.
Chateau, yes.
Yeah. And started living there. Then Abhi came to the world in 75.
Abhimanyu.
Yes, 75.
Yes.
And just then, Srila Prabhupada had written to Hansadutta that he should arrange for 3 buses from Germany, big buses,
Yes.
to come to India so to preach here in India. These buses with books and deities and everything.
Yeah.
Go to the different villages. That was Prabhupada's plan. Now, I had done this stretch between India and Europe 3 times on land.
So you knew the road.
I knew it very well.
Everything.
So it was just obvious that I should be one of the
People.
leaders to show. So I took the opportunity.
Nice.
I said, meanwhile what happened was we got initiated. But
Wait, step a little back. What was the first time you saw Srila Prabhupada? In Germany?
No, this is the point.
Okay, you tell us. Because that's a very important point.
That's an important point.
Yeah.
And that's actually the reason and motivation to go away from Europe, from Germany at least. What happened was that 75, Prabhupada was supposed to come to Germany. And so the devotees put out posters of Srila Prabhupada. Beautiful posters, Prabhupada standing with his sannyas danda. Very, very peaceful kind of, slight smile on his face. Very nice picture of Srila Prabhupada. And the caption was, Der Führer kommt.
The Führer has come. Oh my goodness. That word they use?
Yeah.
Oh God. What is the translation of Führer?
Führer was the title given to
Hitler, yes. But what means Führer? The capo di tutti i capi.
Führer means leader.
The leader, okay.
Yeah, I mean, just,
just a general word.
Yeah, the general leader.
Okay, the leader.
But in that
Germany.
context, der means the
Führer, the leader.
The leader. The. Absolutely. So that has a different connotation.
Of course.
So when, one day, the whole, the police force, they come and they sort of started looking everywhere, searching everywhere, like a police razzia.
Yeah.
What's going on?
They thought you're connected with Hitler,
yes,
SS,
something like a cult,
Third Reich,
like a Nazi cult. Or
yeah, because
something.
the swastika is there.
That
was not there.
That wasn't, thank God, there on the picture. But it was like this is what. And they stopped Srila Prabhupada's visa.
Oh, I see.
They wouldn't allow him to come.
I see.
So, so we got initiated by sending the
name,
the malas to Amsterdam. That's where Prabhupada. So he chanted on the mala, gave us a spiritual name. My wife and myself, we got initiated together. So then I thought, if my spiritual master I cannot come and see his lotus feet. What am I doing here? So I decided, no, I'm going to go back. But they wouldn't let me go. Because, Hansadutta, he made me the vice president there.
Oh, I see.
Immediately gave me a position. And I suppose I was doing a pretty good job. So he didn't want to let me go.
Plus, most probably you signing all the check and the paper.
So when this opportunity came, So Hansuda said, okay, so that you can go.
Finally released.
Finally, what a release. So somehow that was Krishna's arrangement.
Of course.
Yeah, so
But the 4 buses they bought, was those white one?
Sorry?
Was the buses they bought, did they come to India?
Oh, yeah.
Was the 4 white Mercedes-Benz?
No, those are the small ones.
Ah, the small one, because I was driving one of that.
Yeah. No, that's right. These were really big ones. Big ones.
And they came to India.
Oh, yeah. With Carnet de Pashas and all that. We have to take them
Carnet
out.
de Passage.
Yeah.
Every 6 months you have to take them out.
Right, we have to take them out to Nepal.
Or Bangladesh.
And, Satvik, our good friend Satvik.
Yes.
So he was driving.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was.
But then what is the next time you
So we
actually
came-
met to Srila Prabhupada?
Yeah, I came to Vrindavan with a bus, came to Delhi. I was in Delhi for some time, with Tejas Prabhu
Ah, yes.
in Bengali market, and he was the president. But he was having a problem with the head pujari. So he resigned and he said, you become. So it was like a real funny situation. So then I heard that Prabhupada was coming. And instead of coming to the Delhi temple, which actually was very small, he was going directly to Vrindavan. So immediately he said, let me go on Vrindavan. I'm not going to stay. So actually it was in Vrindavan that I first saw Prabhupada, and it was an ecstatic darshan. It was just such a memorable experience, and not just because it was the first time, but it was, the whole experience was somehow or the other was completely, taking place, at least to my perception, in a different spiritual dimension.
But also we should say that Prabhupada came back successful from his preaching mission of the world, and he brought the white elephant, the Western people back. Yeah,
That,
the
of
all
course-
success, Krishna opened all the door for him and said, okay, do it. You did it. He passed all the tests and went alone with $7. He went on the ship. He had a heart attack.
That's
It's
incredible.
a
That
story
story
which, of
is-
course, is
it
amazing.
is just absolutely.
But when he came back, I saw the video and I saw the people. It was like amazing,
Amazing.
And Prabhupada was very ecstatic. He was very happy.
Yes.
Because that very Vrindavan where he pray and sweep the floor of the,
Samadhi.
the samadhi of
Rupa Goswami.
Rupa Goswami was praying and crying to him. So his dream was fulfilled,
Yes.
which was the dream of Lord Chaitanya and the Acharyas. So when he came back, he was very blissful, and with the disciple moving, walking around Vrindavan with all these people. So naturally,
He didn't walk. He
was gliding.
No, it's at least
you saw it.
absolutely. And what a emanation was just kind of, what an aura, the incredible aura. In those days, the Vrindavan temple was not what it is now.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I remember.
So it was landscaping there. There's a fountain which was coming out of the middle, and on either side was like a raised, mound kind of thing. So in the morning, we heard that Srila Prabhupada was coming. So right after the Shringar Arati, Sundar Arati, and the Guru Puja, we all came out. It was announced that Srila Prabhupada will be arriving soon. So I took a place right at the back. I said, I want to see him from a distance. I don't want any, and it was on a raised platform. So Prabhupada's car drives it and stops. He got this, maroon colored ambassador.
Ambassador, yeah.
Maroon color,
Yeah.
That also was interesting with the car. Just to give you a little anecdote, it was a fantastic anecdote. When we were coming with the bus, at the same time, Hansaduta had bought a Mercedes-Benz, maroon color, with a right-hand drive. That was custom built. And so Pushta Krishna, as well as our, what's his name? He's here now. Ridha Prabhu.
Oh, Ridha. From South Africa.
Yeah. So Pushta Krishna Prabhu Maharaj, he was Maharaj. Ridha Prabhu were the two who were actually driving, this Mercedes. They were going to drive all the way to India. So we met in Turkey in Mount Ararat.
Ararat, yes. It's a famous place.
Now, Mount Ararat is, I think, about 1,200 meters high or something even higher. So what happened was, we had started late, so it was already November. It was ice cold. You wouldn't believe how cold it is, man, out there. You touch anything metal, your skin comes off. So they came in at the petrol station. We had just filled up. Our bus was diesel bus. We filled it up. When Prabhupada's car came, it wouldn't start anymore. It was a petrol car. It wouldn't start. They tried everything. It was a brand new car. And they were
shocked.
They were so in anxiety. So
of course.
What have we done? Something like, we must have, So one Turkish worker from the petrol station, gas station, he took a burner, with a flame.
Put it under the...
So they freaked out, said, what are you doing? And so then, they saw me, skin color was similar to them. So they came and tried to tell me.
To you.
I said, listen, we know what we are doing. Yeah. Just let them, just chill out. Just give us the chance. So what happened was the petrol freeze.
No, the mobile of the engine, inside the engine itself, it got completely a piece of ice. Yeah. So you won't turn the piston.
Exactly.
We do this.
Because petrol freezes at a much
less
faster
temperature, yes.
So they did that. They thawed the petroleum. And then they added some kerosene, I think.
Yes, it's more liquid and oily.
Exactly. And then it started moving. So that was a very interesting episode. Just wanted to kind of backtrack.
Nice.
So then waiting in Vrindavan, from distance and waiting. Srila Prabhupada's car comes, stops. He steps out, and with his raised head, he looks everywhere around, at the temple. And it was such an amazing experience for me. I've never seen any personality with such what's the word? Elegance, grace, beauty. It's beautiful. I mean, it sounds odd when you describe an elderly person, a man, to be beautiful, but that's how I saw him to be. And actually, I had a question in my mind. Because my parents, they were constantly telling me, how could you do this? How do you know that this is the right thing? This, that, and the other. So I started even questioning whether this decision to give up everything. I had a family. My son was there. How am I going to maintain the family? And all these sort of questions sort of coming up. What's the future?
Yeah.
Will ISKCON be there also in the future or not? These were the early days.
Of course.
So when I said, I'm going to ask Srila Prabhupada, everything that you've written in the book, is it true?
Yeah, you wanted to confirm.
I was a crazy...
No, you wanted to confirm that.
Exactly, yeah.
To make sure.
So then when I saw him, started moving. It was like he was just, sort of, what do you call it?
Gliding.
Yeah, gliding. I said, "You fool, you don't need to answer anymore. Ask anymore. It's confirmed."
It's confirmed. Paramatma in your heart.
Yes, it's confirmed. So such a ecstatic moment for me. It just completely changed my whole perception of life, everything,
Just by seeing him.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then you met him personally also.
Yeah.
Later on, a few days.
And it's just
Same day.
next day, a few days, I was, because I also then asked by Prabhupada to move to Vrindavan, and Akshayananda was the president, and he said, "You become vice president." Prabhupada gave me that. Said, and you train the new devotees. And then also he gave me other, under his instruction, I started the Govindas in Vrindavan.
The restaurant.
Yeah. And in the first meeting, Srila Prabhupada said,
1 minute. You were speaking to you Bengali or in English?
In English.
Ah, okay.
In English.
Because sometimes maybe he was also...
No, sometimes he spoke, but Srila Prabhupada was
aware of the audience,
Exactly.
other people. He didn't want to discriminate just because he knew your language. He was transparent.
Sorry?
He was transparent.
Absolutely.
Was not hiding anything.
No. Yeah. Exactly. Most of the time, sometimes he spoke Bengali, but most of the time, he spoke English. So, in the first meeting, he told me that I heard that you were in Germany. Somebody must have
told me.
And so I'm looking for educated Indian boys in Bengali. So you translate my books. First meeting.
From the first.
So then I was so ashamed of myself because my Bengali was not that good.
But still you study so many...
No, that may be, of course.
But your English...
Yeah, my English. You see, I was always very good in English. I did English literature. Of course, in the meanwhile, while living in Germany, my English speech has taken a kind of battering. But anyhow, my English was my first language, actually. So...
Which book you translated of Srila Prabhupada?
It's called the Renunciation Through Wisdom. That was the first book I translated.
Okay.
It is a compilation of Prabhupada's essays between 1952 and 1956, where he was the subscribing editor to the monthly spiritual magazine being printed by the Gaudiya Mata from Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj.
Is the book available still or no?
Yeah, this is available.
Available.
BBT printed that.
In Bengali? No.
It is in English. Yeah, this is from Bengali to English. We compiled.
I never saw this book.
Sorry?
I never saw this book myself.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's available. What's the name again?
Renunciation Through Wisdom.
Through wisdom. And then you continue.
Yeah, the Bengali title was Vairagya Vidya.
Oh, Vairagya Vidya. Yeah. I know Vairagya Vidya.
Yeah. So that's the English translation.
Okay. And which other book you translated? I remember seeing you in Rainy Park in 1979, 80, 81, 82. You and Bhattichara Maharaj were both doing this work of translating. You had a law table and you were... Correct? Am I correct?
Yes, you're right.
And every time I saw you, you always inspire me, told me some good word. I become steady, I become a nice devotee. By your blessing and mercy, I'm still here.
Hare Krishna.
So which other book you translated from?
Actually, Srila Prabhupada's, I didn't get the opportunity anymore to translate Prabhupada's books. But he told me to translate Chaitanya Bhagavat, which I did, and Jaiva Dharma, which also then I did. And then after, other books I also did from Bhaktivedanta Thakur. So I was doing that while in Rainy Park we were doing that, Yeah, so...
Amazing.
So, but wait a minute, this is an interesting part I just want to share.
Sure.
And that is, so when I told Srila Prabhupada that my Bengali is very weak, so how is that? So I don't know, in college I did not take up Bengali as a subject, but Bengali is, if not more tough, but as tough as Sanskrit. The Bengali grammar
it's a lot.
It's a very difficult grammar. Anyhow, are we still within time?
Keep going. Yes.
So Prabhupada said, "Oh, that's no problem. You read my Chaitanya Charitamrita, you'll learn Bengali soon." And believe it or not, I actually became proficient in Bengali just by reading Prabhupada's Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Amazing.
It's amazing. It's absolutely... So it's what I see is this is Kripa.
Of course.
This is what is Kripa is. Yeah. That just because Srila Prabhupada desired I learned the language properly, it just happened. Yeah. Yeah, and thereafter I brought out I translated quite a few, I think 13, 14, even in very difficult texts like Chaitanya Chandramrita from Bengali to English. And this is amazing. At least I know more than anyone else how an amazing feat that is. I would have never ever thought in my life I would have been able to do such a thing. So this is Prabhupada's mercy.
Yes. You could say that these are the greatest accomplishment in your life, or there is something else which we don't know, which you want to share with us. Because, every man, as we become old, we look in retrospect and we start to see how all these different passages in our life lead us to this, what we are today, and what the spiritual master want, what our desire fulfill, and Krishna guiding us to become devotee of the Lord. Am I correct?
Yes.
So, but tell us what you feel was the greatest achievement in your life.
Well, I don't know what the greatest achievement in the sense that I think that I'm still in the shade of Prabhupada's lotus feet. I think that is the greatest achievement. And that Maya was not able, at least so far, not able to take me away from that position.
Nice.
And, I feel a lot of confidence that Srila Prabhupada is sheltering me. Otherwise, I would not have been able to make it, that's definitely.
But tell us a message to our audience. What will make us fix at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, like you, because we didn't see Srila Prabhupada. Many people who are hearing today's podcast, who are youth, who are coming to this movement, they are never seen. But of course, we are reading Srila Prabhupada book. Of course, Srila Prabhupada is the Jagat Guru, and he's the Shishya Guru for all of us. And we all feel connection, even though we have not seen him.
Yeah.
But tell us how we can become more fixed, how we can become more attached, so that Maya will not take us away also.
The thing is that Prabhupada is still very much present.
Yes.
And, when chanting, all the scriptures are saying, and like, Chaitanya Charitamrita, saying that Krishna Bhakti Janma Mool Hai Sadhu Sangha. that the root of Krishna Bhakti is sadhu sangha.
Association with devotees.
Yes. Now, where we're going to always have, and this an association of devotees, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, that means associating with devotees, sadhus who are much on a higher platform. Amongst devotees of the same stature, same, this is a very nice priti lakshanam, exchange, beautiful exchange.
Yes.
But real sadhu sangha means to hear Harikatha from a realized sadhu. And for those who are really interested in going deep into bhakti, without the association of a pure devotee, it is not possible. So I take my association, naturally there's
Many
all
devotees.
others, but also Srila Rupa Goswami says that the spiritual master who you want to inspire you in your spiritual progress should have a similar spiritual what is the word? Attitude. Similar attitude. So only then he can understand what your spiritual needs are.
Yes.
So in Srila Prabhupada, at least I find that this attitude he understands completely, even without having to ask him. Of course, I pray to him every single day and offer him worship. If I can make Srila Prabhupada as my only friend in the world, my one and only friend, which he is actually, then just as a friend is always giving the right advice, giving the right guidance, and speaks to my heart, just like Uddhav is asking Krishna, says, Krishna, you say that Suhridam Sarvabhavana, that you are the beneficial, friend of all living entities. What does that mean? Who is an actual friend? And you say the Pandavas are your friend, why didn't you help them at the time of playing dice? So you know what Krishna says? So Uddhav, an actual friend is someone who, at the time of need, without being asked, will help you in a manner which you require.
That's very deep.
Friend.
That's very deep.
Absolutely.
No.
And that's how I feel with Srila Prabhupada. Whenever there was this crisis in my spiritual life, crisis in my life, Srila Prabhupada just gave me
the solution. Give you that.
He just gave me that strength, that guidance that I needed
to carry on.
Yeah. So my advice would be, Srila Prabhupada is waiting for anyone who wants to be his friend.
Sure. That's a beautiful advice. And of course, this is not, as you were saying before, it's not exclusive. It's not like, he's only mine. It's not avoiding all the other people.
No, but that is what is mamata.
Mamata, yes, of course. That also comes with Krishna.
He's my only friend. Not that I'm his only friend. That's not.
No, yes. That's different.
That's different.
Yes. But he is my only friend.
Yes.
Wonderful. So I'd like to thank you very much. I would like to ask you last question, which is I ask all my people I do the podcast is what sloka you keep in your heart all the time, whether it's from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavad Gita, or Bhagavatam. What is that slogan which remaining within you all the time and you remember it and you get inspired all the time?
Well,
If you like
actually,
to
to
share.
tell you very honestly, I try to remember the name of Gaur Nitai.
Gauranga.
Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gaur. That is, and not just remember the name, I've come to the point to think that by remembering, I should be calling them to come and place their lotus feet in my heart. So it's not really the shloka, rather than the name of
Name and the personality
yes.
comes along with that. Jai Gaura Chandra ki. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Ki
Ananta
jai.
Kodi Vaishnavrinda ki. Gaur Nitai ki. Thank you, Sarvabhavana Prabhu. It's been a great pleasure talking to you today. I'm sure that all the devotees from all over the world will be inspired to hear you. I'm sure in future we'll have opportunity you can share more with us. Thank you once again. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Great pleasure.
You're listening to Radio Mayapur with the best devotional, meditation, kirtan music, and inspirational podcast. This is Radio Mayapur.